The dairy industry is now fighting a lawsuit brought on by a firm representing consumers and animal advocacy groups. The suit alleges over the last 5 years the industry has been fixing prices through the Cooperatives Working Together herd retirement program. They say the result put more than $9 billion in members' pockets. Ag Day's Michelle Rook looks at the lawsuit and how livestock and dairy groups are working to get ahead of the movement.
The dairy industry is under attack again by animal activists, and this time they found a new angle.
This is a lawsuit that's been brought by a law firm in Los Angeles with the help of an animal rights group.
The group alleges National Milk's voluntary herd culling program violates antitrust rules. However, Galen says they don't believe the case is legitimate, and industry observers agree.
8 years ago, when CWT was created, we made certain that it was in compliance with the nation's antitrust laws. We think that's always been the case, and that's going to be our response legally.
Because they're all co-ops, they have antitrust exemption, so I don't see this as a real threat.
Whether it has merit or not, unfortunately, it must still be defended.
The attorneys are the ones who are going to win. Win or lose, that's who's going to win.
To me, it's more of a nuisance lawsuit, but they have to go through the motions.
The latest legal effort against CWT is just part of an overarching attack that the animal activists have had on the entire protein sector.
That's how I'm reading it. When you really go into that website and look at what they're doing, they are urging people just to move away from animal proteins. So it's not even an animal rights type of issue to me. It's a vegan agenda.
And the animal activists continue to get more aggressive in their agenda to hurt the industry, including undercover videos, advertising campaigns, and the internet.
And a lot of this is driven by social media. People who are opposed to what's happening in food production are much more vocal, and they can get those messages out more effectively than they could 5 or 10 years ago.
They've also pushed ballot initiatives on animal welfare practices in states like Arizona. Dairyman Rick England says this is a big concern since most of the public doesn't know how their food is raised and believes the propaganda presented by activists.
They see an ad by PETA or Mercy for Animals, and then they make an assumption that we all do things the same way. And I'll always tell folks, hey, just because you don't think there's bad apples in every industry?
With the constant threat of activists, farm groups are becoming proactive. The National Milk Producers Federation has implemented an audit and verification process.
That in turn is meant to relate to consumers that the cows are well taken care of, and that the products, the dairy products, the meat, the milk are all come to them through solid, verifiable methods of cow care and cow comfort.
And producers are not only doing a better job with animal welfare practices, they're telling the public about it.
I want to do it right, because if I don't, the consumer is going to back off, and what does that do? It helps my bottom line if I do it right.
And I feel like it's a communication we have to have with the general public these days, and just showing them that we're here to handle and we take good care of our animals. They're our livelihood.
The hope now is that these efforts are making headway at finally getting out ahead of animal activists.
I like to think that the dairy industry is making progress, and I believe that it is, but what the other side, what those animal activists have up their sleeve next, who knows?
In Madison, Wisconsin, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Day.
Thanks, Michelle. The agricultural industry has come together to try to get ahead of not only animal activists, but all anti-agricultural groups. They say last fall they formed the U.S. Farmer Rancher Alliance, which has developed a campaign to help tell agriculture's positive story to the public. And don't forget, for the very latest news affecting the dairy industry, including production and policy issues, check out dairytoday.com. Still